Zach?
What?
Where are we?
We're in space, Matthew.
Well, yes. Yes, we are. But where in space?
On the couch.
Okay. Well,
in Sector 9.
I suppose...
Sector Planet 9.
I suppose one would say this is the next installment.
Yes.
The next set.
Yes.
The next phase of Wolfpack Productions.
Yes.
Is right here on this couch in space.
In space. We're trapped in space.
We're in space.
Space.
Do we need anything to protect our faces and bodies from imploding and suffocating?
We got like an hour before we implode. So
well, perfect. So we have just enough time for a show.
Just enough time to get our minds straight.
Okay, perfect.
So let's get on with it. We need
all
to
right.
go. Everyone, this is the Wolfpack Podcast in space.
Woo.
As always, we got links down in the description for our Facebook, Instagram, all that social media.
Twitter
stuff. Twitter, yes. All down in the description. Click the link down there if you want to subscribe to us on Twitter.
Also, even in space, there is Patreon down there in the description. You can give us $1 every single month to get your content early every single week.
Wow.
That kind of flowed off the tongue, didn't it? Or $2 for a topic request on the show.
Also, we got our highlights channel down there.
Yes. It's as empty as space.
It is.
Also down there, as always, we have timestamps.
Yes,
if you want to hop around this episode of the show, you can go down there in the description and find what topic you want to hear about.
Yes. We're in space right now, but we're still going to talk about some earthly business.
Yes.
Some earthly business. Also, we're going to watch the 1976 Dawn of the Dead movie by George Romero for Wolfpack Movie Club homework segment.
Woo.
That is my pick. It is my segment now. Matthew, get out of here. It is now my segment. This is my show. I have taken over the Wolfpack Movie Club homework segment. Woo!
But this week, we're talking You're Next.
You're next.
You're next.
You're next.
I'm next.
I'm not next. You're next.
This is the Wolfpack Podcast, everyone. Episode 32. Buckle up, because we are in space, and you will float away if you don't. Here we are in a new set, in a new location, and let's get on with it.
Let's get the show on the road, everyone.
Let's just get it over with. Here we go.
See you later, everyone. Bye-bye. Hello, Matthew. This is the new set.
Hi.
We're in space. We're just barreling through space right now.
Yes, we are.
How are you enjoying space so far?
I'll be honest with you, I'm terrified.
You're terrified?
But I'm excited still.
Yeah, I'm excited. Slightly at what's end?
Yeah, I think I'm having an existential crisis as we speak, as we plummet through the void.
The void. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It is very intense right now. I am very scared.
It is. But to ease our minds and to distract us from that which is the infinite unknown.
Yes, the void.
We have movie stuff to talk about today.
Yeah, we
have plenty to speak about.
So, Matthew, what's new with you?
What's new with me?
What's new with you?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I watched a movie.
What's that?
I watched a few movies, but one movie that last week I didn't get to talk about because I hadn't finished yet, but I will now talk about is Fatal Attraction.
Now, what is Fatal Attraction?
Fatal Attraction.
Is that the one with the cross-legged Sharon Stone?
No, but very similar.
Oh.
Take out Sharon Stone, take out the murder, keep the crazy lady, put Glenn Close in, and you've got Fatal Attraction.
That one. Yeah.
Still Michael Douglas, though. He just has terrible taste in women, man. He goes after these wild girls.
So he just likes the crazy ones.
Yeah, so Fatal Attraction is Michael Douglas. He works at this, some company. He's a lawyer, actually. Uh-huh. He's a lawyer, and the new girl shows up at the office, Glenn Close. Now, mind you, Michael Douglas is a married man with a daughter who looks like a boy. Like, it's very hard to determine whether this daughter is a boy or a girl. If you see the movie, you'll definitely understand. He has a beautiful wife at home. He has a beautiful kid. They're looking to get property outside the city. But you know what? Temptation gets the best
lust.
of Michael Douglas.
And lust.
And he gives in, and he goes with Glenn Close for 2 nights of a romp. 2 wonderful nights.
2 nights of a romp?
2 nights of a romp, just hitting the sack in the bed.
Ooh.
And I saw the edited version, but apparently it just gets...
You're too young for it?
I didn't think I could handle it, but it gets quite raunchy, even in the edited version.
Where was the edited version?
On TV.
Oh, okay.
I watched it on my television. But
how's the edited version?
I mean, it's still, you got Michael Douglas doing his signature.
Intense for you?
It was a little crazy, man. He rips off the clothes. It's intense kissing in the elevator, and this lasts for 2 nights. And then he says,
"You closed your eyes at that point."
I did. I was like, oh,
I can't see this.
And then after those 2 wonderful nights, Michael Douglas says, "Hey, this was just an affair. I have my wife and daughter at home. This is it between us."
So tell me what the exact ending is, because I want everyone to be spoiled of Fatal Attraction.
Everyone, Glenn Close is a little wacky. She apparently is pregnant with his son or daughter.
Oh, is that a bullshit lie?
It might be. She's crazy. We don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, it ends up being that she follows them out to the country, that beautiful house that they were talking about getting, and it turns into a bloody mess where she's trying to attack his family, and he will do anything he must to protect those he truly loves and not those he lusts for.
Beautiful.
Fatal Attraction.
It's a beautiful movie.
Go check it out.
I feel like I just saw it right now.
It's a fun one. It's like Basic Instinct. I think I might prefer Basic Instinct, but
you prefer the other Michael Douglas Lust movie?
Yes. It's just very fun to see Michael Douglas be like stressed at work, and then he goes after a woman.
Yeah.
And that's basically those movies.
What more do you want from a movie, honestly?
Not much. Not much.
I think that's the pinnacle of filmmaking right there.
I agree. Now, that's what I watched.
Is that all you watched?
I might have watched a few other things, but I'm going to switch it off to you. What have you seen? What's new?
What's new with me? I have watched They Live.
Ooh.
They Live. I won't talk about it much because I don't want someone on the set to be spoiled of it.
Sure, I don't know anything about it.
You don't know anything about it? I actually... So, John Carpenter, They Live, is an alien invasion movie. It's an alien invasion movie about this Roddy Piper that goes to basically murder every alien on the world that has taken over the entire Earth. And it's pretty good. I very much enjoyed it. It was kind of like a 80s Twilight Zone action movie. But, yeah, I really enjoyed it, and... that's about it. All I gotta say about They Live. Time to pull Matt from back from time and space.
La 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 la.
All right. So Matthew, that's all I gotta say about that movie.
Yeah.
What else have you watched?
Boy, oh boy. Let's see. Honestly, with this week, with moving and everything, I didn't really get to see too much. We have Regal Unlimited. I haven't even utilized it past seeing Crawl. Yep. Haven't gotten back to the theater. But I did check something out cool yesterday, which you were already aware of, but was completely new to me, which was Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah.
So this is a show... I don't know if this is a new show for Netflix, if this was added recently, because I just saw it yesterday. But from 1999, you have this oddball little show where it's kind of similar, actually, to our theme today. Where it's like, oh, you've got people in space talking about movies. So
our theme, we're actually in space.
That's true, right. Right. Because in Mystery Science Theater, that's fake.
That's fake. We're actually in space, right?
We are in space.
Yes.
So in Mystery Science Theater, you have these hosts who were sent up to space. Like they're in the intro music, it explains like the boss fires them and sends them up to space, and with the materials that they have in their spaceship, they create these robot friends to join them in commentating over movies.
Okay.
I'm not completely sure exactly what the whole structure of this show is because I've only seen like part of an episode.
I think that's literally it.
And it's a pretty cool idea, even if that's just it. So, literally, a good portion of the episode is you get like a silhouette of like a guy and two robots, and they're just making live commentary over B movies.
That's awesome.
So it's very cool.
that.
Like, for example, like 20 minutes was just like them talking about this circus movie. It was just like some kind of like documentary type thing, just live footage of a circus, and they're just making jokes. And some of them hit and some of them don't, but it is consistently cozy.
It is consistently a good time. No alcohol required.
No alcohol required at all. So if you want to pop something on that's a little easy to watch, they're each episode is maybe like an hour and a half or so. They're solid length episodes. So if you just want to
movies, right?
Yeah. But it's like multiple movies. They like do multiple things. So I don't know. Yeah. It's like a compilation of smaller movies.
That's
but
awesome.
But very
check it
cool.
out.
So if you're looking for something to just kind of pop on and watch here and there, I would recommend Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I might do that once I get a TV back.
Do it.
Once I get a TV back and I'm not barreling through space right now.
Yes.
So that's what you've been watching. You've been watching that Mystery Science Theater 3000. Kind of fitting for space.
It is very fitting.
For space.
It fits in just perfectly. Just right.
Mwah. So I have also watched some other movies.
Okay. Break it down for me.
I've watched Night of the Living Dead.
Mm-hmm.
The 1973. I don't remember the date.
Okay.
It's a George Romero zombie movie. It's the movie that actually created zombies. It's the movie that basically incepted. That's not a word.
Yeah, it was the inception of the zombie movie.
The inception of the zombie movie, and I really enjoyed it.
Very good. So, is this a dated movie? Is it cheesy? Does it hold up?
I mean, it's like obviously it's dated and it's cheesy. It was made for very cheap back in the day. Like I think the inflated numbers was that it was made for like $700,000.
Wow, so very cheap.
So it was like inflated for now. It's $700,000. Back then it was made for like $100,000.
Wow.
So yeah, it's very like obviously it's cheap and it's a horror movie. It's like not a B horror movie. It's better than a B horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a older movie. It looks very dated and stuff. But that's part of the charm of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the charm of it because watching those like dated horror movies, the charm of it isn't really in like how realistic it looks. The charm is how much like passion and heart went into the production and all that kind of stuff. Because you look at like what they did and all like what they did with the whole zombie thing and like what they did with the house and the set and everything. You just tell a lot of hard work went into the film, and even if it doesn't come out like really realistic looking, it still is very like movie like. It's a lot of fun to watch something like that.
And I think like some of that, like probably that lower budget adds to the novelty.
Yeah.
And just like it's like testament to how much it holds up. Still like as a classic kind of.
Yeah. Well, they also didn't go crazy with it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look as like bad, but also like for me, I like seeing like the bad visual effects and everything because I think it's kind of like heartwarming in a way.
And the approach to zombies, like being the first time doing zombies.
Yeah.
It's not like limbs falling off.
No.
Not stuff like that. No. How is it?
The most that they do is that there's like a decomposed body at the top of the stairs, but it's really just like a skeleton with like eyes in it and like some blood. The most they do with like shooting the zombies is like literally just like some blood flies out of their head. That's it. There's no like decomposing like bodies. There's like a little bit of like a cheek ripped out of one, but like most of the zombies are just like makeup blush, like make them look really like lifeless, and that's it. So they didn't do any of like the crazy visual effects that like Walking Dead does or the later Romero movies. They all do like the crazy visual effects, but this one's very bare bones, like flush skin, just like basic makeup and all that kind of stuff. Some blood, but most of the time it's just like flush skin. And it's very cool in the way because you think that all these like zombie movies need to have like these crazy visual effects and all that kind of stuff, but watching this, it's like, like it started out just very simple. And I think it's cool to watch like simple stuff.
Yeah.
Right now. So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That was one of my favorite movies I watched recently, other than They Live.
Yeah.
Really
They Live was at the top. You think?
Yeah. That was like my favorite movie, but like in a while.
Yeah. But you've been very into the horror movies.
Yes.
Lately.
I've been very into horror movies lately.
Yeah.
Because I think like it's not taking itself like too seriously,
Mm-hmm.
but they're also not like goofing around.
Yeah.
Like they're not just like bullshitting their way through a movie. It's like they're still trying to like make a fun movie for the audience. And that's like the catch of it that I think is really like cool about horror movies is that it's for the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think like dramas sometimes get more in the headspace of like I'm doing this for art and I'm doing this for like
Just for me,
For me.
like the filmmaker.
yeah. And some horror movies do that also, and they get very pretentious sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But like the slashers and the zombie movies and all these different horror movies that are more like less heady. Like they're not like the crazy like abstract horror movie type of thing. And they're much more for the audience and making them have a good time, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. Horror definitely like it like you were saying, it hits a different kind of like it checks different boxes than other genres.
Yeah, because drama, it's like you're watching a movie to like learn something and like get this like heady experience, but horror is like for you to have a good time with it.
Mm-hmm.
And like part of the thing that's fun about like the older visual effects and the practical stuff that doesn't look like so realistic is that adds to like the fun factor for me because it's not like I'm making fun of them or anything like that. It's like you're watching it and you're like, oh, like they did, like they,
it adds character.
It adds like character to it and it makes it feel more realistic and like there's like people behind it making this thing rather than like most of the studio horror movies nowadays kind of having like a sanitized like just kind of robot feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I would like to see more movies nowadays that even just like especially like for these lower budget movies, say like the Blumhouse movies, if it were to go for like more of like try to go for the realistic, even like fake realistic blood.
Yeah.
But just less of like the digital blood.
Yeah, less
all that kind of
digital
stuff.
Because like you're going to the like if you're seeing like a bloody horror movie, you want it to be real. Because that's literally all the movie has going for it right now. Is like you're going to the movie for like the blood and the special effects and all that kind of stuff and see what they can do with it. Mm-hmm. And when you do digital stuff, it's like it's not that impressive. Like it doesn't feel that real.
Yeah, and I think just in general with movies, like you want to make something that's going to last.
Yeah,
and I think that's part of why something like Night of the Living Dead does last.
Because even though it's not like realistic blood and everything, you still got this like feeling of like it's tangible. Like it's like it's real on screen, even if it doesn't look like real.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've been loving like the practical horror movies that are doing like the big bloody stuff and the big bloody scenes. Back in the day when I watched like Evil Dead, that was the same feeling where it's like, oh my god, this is so cool. Like it's just like real blood. They're not making like this heady experience. It's just like, man, what's the most fun bloody experience we can make?
Yeah.
And it's really it's a lot of fun. So.
Very cool. So, aside from older horror movies, we did see a newer horror movie lately.
We did.
So, for the Wolfpack Movie Club homework last week,
yes,
to talk about this week, we watched You're Next.
You're Next, directed by Adam Wingard.
Yes.
And written by Simon Barrett. They have written and directed, I think it was The Guest and Blair Witch. And I'm sure, parts of VHS.
Yep.
They directed parts of them. I don't think they've directed my favorite parts of them, but they still directed parts of them.
So yeah, they have like their hand in like this decade of horror.
Yeah, they made like their splash in this decade. Even if it's kind of like a low key splash, they still have like a good following. Throughout.
Yeah. So You're Next.
Yes.
What are your initial thoughts? Coming out of it.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with it. I thought the blood and the gore could have been handled a little better because it felt like they were kind of beating around the bush where I think you could have made it a little bit more fun if you didn't try to make it as realistic as possible. But that's just my taste. Like I know some people would be like, oh, that looks bad, so it's bad. But that my taste is like more the campy stuff. And I think I just wanted more of that from this movie, but I enjoyed what I got from the movie. I like to flip on the slasher genre on this one because spoiler alert, this isn't a spoiler because he should have watched it last week.
Yes.
This was your homework.
But if you didn't, it's okay, because we're still just going to explain the entire movie to you.
We're going to explain everything. So, the movie's like a break-in movie, and it's about this family that's having their dinner and everything. It's like a family dinner, and then eventually people with animal masks come and start murdering them all one by one.
Yes.
But the flip of the movie is that halfway through, the lead lady that usually in most horror movies is getting preyed on the entire time by this unstoppable force, eventually flips, and she's the unstoppable force, and she starts taking down the animal people one by one.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that flip. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Like, I thought that was a really good dynamic of like the unstoppable lead hero.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing is that I think they gave up all their cards towards the end, and I think that's part of like the movie. And I think on repeat viewings, if I saw it again, I'd respect it more because it's like part of the charm of it.
Yeah.
But the initial time, I didn't know that was going to happen. So when that happened, I was like, oh, so that's this movie. And I was kind of like shell-shocked in a way, where I was like, oh, this isn't at all what I thought I was going to get from this movie. And I think they could have had a little bit more suspense and like a little bit more mystery still in the movie towards the end, because they literally they take the animal mask off just like flippantly. And it makes sense because they're kind of like at, what is it? Like they're being preyed on now, and they're like the prey, and she's the predator out of the whole thing. And I don't know. I just think they could have kept with a little bit of mystery, but overall, I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, definitely. Like going into this movie, you have a certain, or at least I know you had a certain expectation for what you thought it was going to be, and it definitely isn't that. No. Like it subverts it for sure.
Yeah,
and it goes a more comedic route, and it goes a less. Like, it turns into more of, like, an action movie than a horror movie. Yeah. At that point, when you see, like, that flip of the protagonist from running to hunting.
Yeah. Which is really cool. I like that idea.
Mm-hmm. So, definitely, like, if you wanted... We were talking about how, like, we were expecting more of the strangers. Yeah. Where you have, like what you were saying, the unstoppable force, where you never really reveal who they are. They just kill to kill. Yeah. And
more of a traditional horror movie.
Yeah, and it's more like The Strangers is more scary in that sense, where it's going for like that straight horror, no comedy, which Your Next has, and no real twist the way Your Next has. Yeah. So, yeah, definitely like different things coming out of the movie just based on expectations alone.
Yeah. What did you think of it, Matthew?
I enjoyed it quite a bit also. I thought it was just a fun time. I don't think it's a great movie. I don't think it's great, but I think it does exactly what it wanted to do.
Yeah, I think it's a great horror movie. Yeah, it's like in a traditional sense, it's not like a great movie, but I think overall it's a great horror movie. Or a horror action movie.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's very fun, and it has it owns the dark comedy vibe that it was going for.
Oh yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, they definitely honed in on that really well. I thought.
And that works really well with that flip to the action and everything, where you never lose the sense of like her heroism. Yeah. When it gets even more gory. Yeah. Just because there's almost like there's just a levity to the violence in it. Like you have different kills where like on a character level it's more serious, but the way they play it, it's not. Yeah. Like there's a kill with screwdrivers. And it's kind of funny because it's just like the guy's drugged up, the guy who's getting stabbed, so he's just not reacting to dying
or anything. And the screwdrivers keep on coming in and everything.
Yeah. So there's just like fun kills like that. Yeah. Where it's not very like you're not really supposed to give much of a shit about these people.
No, and most horror movies you're not going to. Like that's not really the point of them. Like they're not trying to make like these character pieces and all that kind of stuff. And honestly, when they start doing that, like we were talking about this the other day, like Crawl, they start doing that, and like I see why they would, because you like obviously like caring about the characters is very important. But honestly, like it kind of drags the movie down because you're not really wanting that from this movie. Like you're going to the movie to have a fun time, so why not just give them what they want?
Yeah, and which this one definitely does better than Crawl.
Yeah. For sure.
Because like what you're saying, like there are expendable moments in Crawl where it's just like, okay, we get it. Like you can swim fast. You're the apex predator. Your dad was your coach.
Yeah.
Like your swimming coach. We get it. Like you don't need to keep harping on this same little point because in your next, it's exemplified that you can just say, listen, like our main protagonist grew up in like an Australian camp or something.
And they took one scene.
Yeah.
Just one scene to explain that.
Like she just said something like she grew up a hard childhood.
Yeah.
She had to be a survivalist, and that's all you needed.
That's all
You just needed enough to be like, okay, cool. Like she knows what she's doing with a knife or a gun.
Yeah. And
Boom.
I feel like that's something that most horror movies nowadays try to do a lot with. And when they start becoming like dramas, like I think a lot of like the indie horrors like going that way where it's like more dramatic horror, like more heady horror. And like it's good. I enjoyed that side of horror. I think it's cool. But like the studio horror that's like trying to be both like the mindless experience and kind of more than what it is, it kind of falls into a weird middle ground. That's not the most fun for me. So
Yeah, I think there is a line between horror and comedy that can be struck beautifully. And I think your next does that very well.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like you get to a certain point where horror can become absurd. And as long as you have your finger on the pulse of where you want it to go, you can make it funny and scary or like and just suspenseful. So like in your next, at the beginning you have like the setup to the movie where you have all of the family coming for the reunion.
Yeah.
You're setting up like different characters and how they don't really get along as a family. And you kind of just get the feeling that everyone's kind of whatever. Like everyone should probably die because they're just not very good family members. They're not really good to each other.
Unlikable.
Yeah, so none of them are likable except for our main protagonist girl.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that we just end up following her, and she's like the only redeemable person in the end.
Yeah, and you don't really care that like anyone's dying, and that's
No.
fine for a horror movie, which is like kind of the point of it. Like, you're not really going to it to have like this like emotional experience.
Yeah, the only thing you care about the kills is just like, oh shoot, I hope that wouldn't ever happen to me.
Yeah.
Like it's that kind of fun thing where it's like, ooh, like sliced throats or screwdrivers in the chest. It's like, oh man, that would suck if it happened to me. But luckily, I don't care about these people in a good way.
Yeah, it's like it's escapism to see that like kind of violence on screen.
Yeah, you don't care about them because they've already set up that they're not very likable, but they're funny while they do it.
Oh yeah.
So it's like it's very effective in that way.
Yeah, it was one of our like. This is going to sound pretentious. It was one of our film professors kind of put it in a nice way about horror, where it kind of like changed my tune on the whole thing. Where it's like horror's like kind of like it's like a place where it's more about like the filmmaking and like how you make things happen more than the actual writing and like the characters and all that kind of stuff, and how it's more about how you do something than anything else, which I think is like something I'm appreciating about horror now more than anything, is that it's more about what they're doing with it. That's like the cool thing. Yeah. And I think your next kind of does that really well because it's like it's a standard studio horror movie, especially now because I think this was before the 80s nostalgia wave came in with like movies like It Follows was also one of the first ones to do it. But it's very much a now movie, but they're doing it very well.
Yeah.
And I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think like with horror movies, it is you're going in on concept alone.
Yeah.
You're not going for any person in the movie, like any kind of actor, any kind of star, typically. And you're not necessarily going on director name if it's a small person. You're just going on based on, does this sound like fun?
Yeah. Or like you see a trailer and you're like, oh, that looks like fun.
And once you get in there, then almost like the director can kind of take the front seat in the horror movies where it's like, okay, let me show you what I've got.
Or the makeup guys. Like
Like more like the technical side. Like it's not necessarily about the acting, it's about how you control the acting and how you play that.
Which is really cool. Because that's something like Night of the Living Dead did and They Live do. Where it's like the They Live specifically is like the main actor's a wrestler. Like it's like a wrestler that like plays the main guy. And he does really well. Like surprisingly, he's a very good actor in that movie. But the movie's more about John Carpenter and his makeup team doing like the movie really well, and like how they do the like the different characters and creatures and all that kind of stuff throughout the movie. It's more about what they do more than the actual characters and their arc in the movie. Like there's literally no arc for these characters, and there's no backstory either, really.
Yeah, and I feel like there is also like like a good chemistry between someone like a WWE wrestler like Roddy Piper and like a hokier horror movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like you have that like the dramatic side of the wrestler that kind of like is telling the story.
Yeah, and he's
but,
very larger than life.
Yeah, larger than life, like very animated, but entertaining to watch.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but I just imagine like the way Dwayne the Rock Johnson is, or the way, who's Drax? Dave Bautista. Like the way that translates to just acting on film.
Yeah,
it can be very fun the way you play it.
Yeah, because they come from a place of like wrestling, which is like you're supposed to be this larger than life character that's not real or anything. It's just like their personality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like with wrestlers, you're over the top, but you own it.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the same deal with horror.
Yeah,
is you're over the top, but you own it, or you weave it within the rules of your own movie. Mm-hmm. So that makes sense.
And also Keith David's in it, and he's very good.
Very nice, very nice.
And they have very good chemistry in that movie.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, your next was very fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. Definitely go check it out if you didn't yet. Mm-hmm. Continue this horror journey with us.
Yes. I'm very inspired by this right now.
Yeah.
Also,
it's a lot of fun.
I forgot to mention I watched Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Oh, right. How was it? I
didn't like it.
No. I didn't see it, but you weren't too big into it.
That's all I got to say.
Okay.
No, I like parts of it. I think it had great sequences, but the movie overall, like, it wasn't as fun as you could make it. I felt like.
Yeah.
I think if they went the anthology route, it would have been more fun because it wasn't the Goosebumps like innocence, like like Goosebumps the remake with Jack Black, the one that we reviewed the second one like a few weeks ago.
Yes.
So the original, like the new Goosebumps, is like a kids movie and it's very innocent. And it's like like werewolves, like it's like the cartoon kids version of these like things. Mm-hmm. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, we got It, which is like the kids are in this hard R, like crazy R-rated horror movie. Mm-hmm. And somewhere in the middle is Scary Stories. And it doesn't really scratch the itch that Goosebumps does. And it doesn't scratch the itch that It does. Mm-hmm. At least for me. Just because it's like, it's kind of going down the middle of like trying to be more mature, but also still trying to be for kids. And I don't know. It didn't really do it for me. Maybe for children they like it, but honestly, it's like super fucking scary for kids.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'd show my kid this. Mm-hmm. Like if they were watching, I'd show them Goosebumps before this because I know it's like a safer movie. And then they get to a certain age where I'm like, no, I can show them like a harder R kind of horror movie because I don't know. If I showed them Scary Stories at a certain age, it'd be too scary. But then once they grow up, it's like, oh, this is too light. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It was just kind of like a weird middle ground. They did the creatures very well, like the actual like Scary Stories creatures that are from the book. Mm-hmm. They did them very well. I thought those sequences were like the best part of the movie, but that's like a half an hour out of like an hour and 40-minute movie. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I didn't really enjoy like the mystery that they did in the overarching story. I thought it was kind of like pointless. And like it's cool like it's fine to have like a pointless story, but it wasn't very fun. It wasn't very engaging or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So, and it didn't have like the thing about like Your Next is that like it has a constant thing going, and like Scary Stories does, but it's not as like interesting, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like
not as good as the concept.
Well, like what we were saying about characters in horror, where it's like okay, like let it go on concept alone.
Yeah.
So that like what we're saying about anthology being better. Is like, let it be separate kids.
Yeah.
Separate little stories where they can just own their little moment and then go away.
Yeah, because you could just do... It felt like anthology movies when the sequences were happening. Mm-hmm. So I didn't understand why it wasn't an anthology movie.
Well, and it sounds like they are going for that It vibe, but the thing is It has Stephen King characters in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's different because you have these characters that should be owning the movie.
Yeah.
So it's a different thing where maybe like did they just create these characters for this movie?
Yeah. They're new characters, like completely whatever the movie created was not as good as what the source material was. Mm-hmm. It was like a clear divide of like the source material and the writers behind the movie.
Yeah. It sounds like that's just like where I mean I haven't seen it, but like where the flaw may fall
Yeah.
is lean more on the story, lean on the creature, lean on telling your little bit, and then getting out of there quick.
Yeah. Like do and also it's like a 100-minute movie, like it's an hour and 40, hour and 50-minute movie. Mm-hmm. If you did an hour and 20, hour and 30-minute movie and it was like all 10 to 15-minute long, like standalone anthology stories, I thought it would have been more fun. Mm-hmm. But that's just me. Yeah. I know a lot of people like it, so I guess it works. Plus, like maybe some kids will enjoy it. I don't think I'd enjoy it as a kid because like the mystery is like too slow for me as a kid to enjoy. But the creatures are way too scary for me to be scared. Like, I mean, maybe it'll like hook like a 13-year-old audience or something. Maybe, but
where
even
it's like
13 is like I'd be watching it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
I feel like I'd be watching it or Stranger Things. Or
But
something.
just like it's that movie where like kids can go to the theater without their parents, and just be able to go see it.
Yeah,
I don't know. And if it's an innocent enough where like they could just go see it, maybe it just itches that little demographic.
Maybe,
but definitely not for Zach.
No,
it's not your demographic.
No, it's not for a 19-year-old.
But it should be because you're the kid that grew up with it. Like we're the age of the kids that grew up with scary stories to tell in the dark. Like so, it should be appealing to that generation, us, and even a little bit older than us.
Yeah, because I remember reading the Scary Stories books growing up, and I remember getting like the books and seeing the pictures. That's really the appeal of the books, like the pictures, because you're just like, holy cow, this is like crazy pictures, and like the pictures are very like edgy for a kid to see and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but. And like I remembered some of the creatures, and that's probably why they were my favorite parts of the movie because I remember the creatures, but the overarching thing just wasn't that engaging.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's Scary Stories. It's just whatever.
Yeah,
it's just a movie.
Just a case of not necessarily knowing where to aim this movie.
Yeah, just kind of like an aimless, like goalless movie. It feels like like it doesn't really have an audience for it. But yeah, that's it. But
so, I guess that's everything that's new.
Yeah,
in terms of those movies.
I think that's everything I've been watching lately. A bunch of horror movies, but I'm having fun with that.
Now, on the topic of aimless movies that don't necessarily have their audience anymore, didn't James Bond just get a title attached to it? What'd you think?
Yeah,
was that okay?
That was okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if is there an audience for James Bond?
I mean, there probably is. Like, there's still just the action audience.
British people.
Sure.
That's it. I don't know.
I feel like, I mean, yeah, it coexists with Mission Impossible, but on a lower level now, I think. I feel like Mission Impossible still owns it.
At least in America. Maybe in, like Britain and all that kind of stuff, James Bond is maybe still, like, relevant.
Yeah. I just don't know if, like diehard 007 fans even like Spectre. Or these new ones.
They didn't like Spectre. They liked Skyfall, and they liked Casino Royale, but they didn't like Spectre and Quantum of Solace. But yeah, I don't really care for these like new 007 movies. The new one's called, I think, I forgot the name.
What is it? Time to Die? No Time to Die?
No Time to Die. That's it.
All right.
So, yeah.
No Time to Die for this franchise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey. I'll take that one straight to the bank.
Yeah, I think it's directed by the guy who made True Detective, which is cool.
Cary Fukunaga?
I think it's Cary Fukunaga.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's impressive. Who's our next 007?
It's still Daniel Craig. I think it's his last one.
Oh, okay. I thought we were getting the new one.
I don't know. I feel like they should have.
I have no idea.
I feel like they probably should have just ditched Daniel Craig.
I think I'm just like, I mean, I've only seen two. I've seen Skyfall and I've seen Spectre. And
I think I've seen parts of Casino Royale and
Skyfall.
That's it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I made that transition based on seeing two movies, probably not the best of the Bond movies. So I apologize if I offend anyone who enjoys the better ones.
No one's watching anyways. And the people who are watching, they probably never seen 007 movies, so it doesn't matter. But
I know there were talks for a while about Daniel Craig being replaced by someone like Idris Elba.
Yeah. I guess they dropped it? Maybe?
Who knows, man? Wait, so Sam Mendes isn't still directing?
No.
No.
The Spectre was his last one.
Gotcha.
And,
Which is probably good.
Yeah, he should have probably just done Skyfall and be like the one guy that's like, man, Sam Mendes just did such a great job with it.
Yeah, and then he never gets a chance to mess it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just leave it as like the good thing. But Cary Fukunaga, I think, is doing it. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rami Malek's the villain.
I'm excited. Boy, am I excited for this.
Boy, am I excited
I mean,
for Rami
Cary
Malek.
Fukunaga, it's exciting to see that he's coming back for something.
Yeah, and
but-
Rami Malek's good. Like, he's good. It's just like the stigma of Bohemian Rhapsody is
Yeah.
following him, and it's like, damn, that's not a good way to leap off your movie.
Mhm.
Because at least I didn't enjoy Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Some people did.
I have yet to see it still.
It is one boring-ass movie.
Yeah.
It is one boring movie.
I know, I think that movie definitely had a demographic, and I think it definitely
yeah.
landed with its demographic.
Oh, yeah. It made like $890 million.
Yeah. I think that movie had like a certain sect of people
Yeah.
that were going to love it, and they did. And then there were people who were more looking for maybe like what Rocket Man delivered on.
Yeah, I didn't see Rocket Man either. But
Me neither, so I can't necessarily say that from my own experience, but it just seems like...
And Rocket Man not nearly enough money
Yeah.
to make it like good. I don't know.
No.
But yeah, that's the new Bond title.
Yeah, new Bond
Yippee!
title. What else is...
Do you think we're gonna get the James Bond movie in space?
No.
Do you think we'll be able to watch this movie because we're in space now?
Do we have wireless Ethernet?
I don't know. Do we?
I hope our ship is advanced enough to have something like Wi-Fi.
Maybe we'll get Wi-Fi. I don't know. Right now we're just barreling.
We are just barreling.
So maybe we'll land somewhere and we'll have Wi-Fi there.
Yes. Land somewhere like #1 on the Billboard charts. Like Billie Eilish's Bad Guy. Just dethroned Lil Nas
God
X
damn.
and Billy Ray Cyrus.
That was a good transition.
Thank
Matthew.
you.
That was
Thank you.
really good.
I was trying to think. I was like, damn, where are we? Where are we?
Damn.
Right there. That's where we are, baby.
Wow.
That's why you come here.
That was really good. So
I mean, what the heck? What was it? 19 weeks or something? Is that 18 weeks?
yeah, it was the longest running #1 single.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Very long running, and now Billie Eilish has taken the place of #1.
Good for her.
Good for her.
Good for her down in Earth.
Yeah.
Like
She's-
we're cheering you on from space, Billy.
Woo! A distant woo from a spaceship in the middle of space where no one can hear you. I still like Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
I'm not as into it anymore.
Why not?
I think I just got a little fatigued.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been listening to the music. I don't really watch her in interviews. There was a period of time where I was very oh, dude, who's this girl?
Yeah.
She's awesome. All this, all that. She's still really good. Super talented, super successful. She's just at that point now where it's she is so big.
Yeah, she's
She's
the
so
#1 person
big.
other than Ariana.
Yeah. So it's just a little hard. And
Now it's so impersonal.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's just too impersonal at this point, I think, because I just I still follow her on Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
And the stories, it's just a lot of look at my magazine,
Yeah.
make sure you guys go listen to Bad Guy, just that kind of stuff. And I'm I mean, that's just a side effect of being one of the biggest things right now.
Yeah, being the biggest pop star out
Yeah.
there. 'Cause
And
you
it
lose
doesn't-
all the edge, basically.
Yeah, it's just I don't take anything away from her. It's just a side effect of being so popular.
Yeah.
And
you
just okay,
lose-
you're just selling out the shows. You're
Well,
going,
because
yeah.
Now she has to be this celebrity god figure now.
Yeah,
and,
and just kind of still a mouthpiece of making money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's kind of whatever.
yeah. It's just a shame that it has to get to that point, but that's
just part of
that's
it.
just fame and that's success in that sphere.
Yeah. I mean, if I was in her position, I wouldn't be worrying about what we're saying.
No,
So
no, and yeah, it's no knock on her.
No,
because
she's making
she's doing
millions of
exactly
dollars.
what she needs to be
Oh,
doing.
She's making millions of billions of dollars.
Yeah,
Like
and she makes good music. Bad Guy, it deserves #1. I think it's a fun song.
good song. Old Town Road, fun song.
I'm surprised Old Time Road lasted that long, or Old Town Road.
He has such a dial in on meme culture.
Yeah.
Like, he is so smart with how he's advertises his music.
Yeah.
Because if you follow him on Twitter, or even if you don't follow him on Twitter, you'll see his shit everywhere.
Yeah, I do see his stuff
like,
a lot.
You'll just see all of his like tweets and all that kind of stuff everywhere because he just knows how to like advertise his stuff and make it like stay relevant in the culture.
Yeah.
Because he makes it like a meme.
Mm-hmm.
And like everyone gets behind this meme, and then you just hear about like Panini and like Rodeo and like Old Town Road and all that kind of stuff through the memes, and you're just like, well, I guess I'll go listen to it now to see what all the hype's about, and then eventually you get hooked. And yeah, he knows how to advertise his stuff so well, and then eventually I don't remember who he signed to. I think it might have been Sony or RCA, but he got a label behind him, and they started pushing his stuff really hard.
And now that's how you make it.
Yeah.
A few months in the #1 position on the billboards.
Yeah, make it through meme culture.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah, I mean that's a great approach.
Oh yeah.
That's what Chance tried to do.
Yes.
Right, with Hot Shower.
I think that's his biggest song
Yeah.
off that
Well, I
album.
guess not tried then. I guess that is what he did.
Succeeded, so. Yeah.
Good job, Chance, on that.
Good on Chance down at Earth. Good
On your wedding album, you made a good meme.
You made a good meme, and that's awesome, man. You made a great meme, and that's your #1 song. How do you feel, man? How do you feel? So, Matthew, let's go into probably our elongated segment of how have you been?
I have been doing pretty good.
Yeah?
Yep, we're here at the apartment now.
Wait, what?
I mean, we're here. It cuts to the green screen for a second, and then it goes back. I mean, we're here in space. And honestly, I'm feeling a little lonely here in space.
Oh, in space? Okay.
In space.
And
But luckily, don't worry.
luckily, I'm on the couch right here.
You're right here with me.
Yeah.
And I've got Guitar Hero. How
have you been playing that in space?
My love for Guitar Hero. Well, we have outlets on.
We do?
Oh, I forgot we weren't on a spaceship.
Is there an outlet right here?
We are on a couch on top of the spaceship, barreling through
Maybe?
space. I don't know.
I don't know where I am right now.
I don't know either. But I still get to actually. Guitar Hero is wireless. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't need to wire in to play.
Oh, okay.
So I just play Guitar Hero with like on here on this couch, playing into the void.
I know, I've seen it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, but
I've been wondering how you plugged it in.
Mm-hmm.
But now
Now you just watch.
Now I just fessed up the courage to ask you how have you been playing.
Space. That's hell.
Space is working its number on me.
Yes.
So you've been playing Guitar Hero?
Yeah, the fire that burns in me for Guitar Hero has been stoked.
What the hell was that? What did you just say?
The fire that burns in me for Guitar Hero has been stoked. That's a statement.
I thought that was a song title.
No.
And then I realized it wasn't. I
Nope.
was like, what the hell?
But yeah, I've just been getting back into it. For a while, I was pretty into Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Like when it first came out, I remember I bought it. Like we got it.
For a while, like, what, 12 years ago?
Yeah, years ago. Back when it came out, like we got it from Toys R Us.
Uh-huh.
And I was like,
I did the same
yep.
thing.
And I
World
worked
Tour?
I had to like work. Well, I got Legends of Rock first.
Really?
Guitar
Okay.
Hero 3.
I got World Tour from Toys R Us.
World Tour is a good one too.
I
It's
like
got really
World
good
Tour.
songs. I just bought that the other day.
Really?
Yesterday or the other day, I went to the Florida Mall, which is a big, crowded mall.
Wait, how?
How did I go? Or how did I buy it?
No, how did you get there?
Oh, back before this happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, back before this happened.
Okay.
I went to the Florida Mall, and I went inside. There are 2 GameStops in this mall,
Okay.
but I went to the third-party game store, where it was called like Hudson Games, and it had Guitar Hero World Tour for $4. So I said,
Maybe it was a good
Yes,
decision
please.
to go to the off-brand GameStop.
"Yep." It's a huge mall, dude. It was crazy big.
Where is it?
It's by like the airport, the Orlando airport.
Oh, so you went on like the 417.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, wow.
It was like 30 minutes away,
Dang.
but Ronald drove. He wanted to drive.
He wanted
So-
to go to the Orlando airport?
Yeah, he wanted to go all the way there to the big mall, which it is big. It had a lot of cool stuff in it. It
Yeah.
had the Tesla store. We sat in a Tesla.
How was that?
It was really cool.
Are you thinking about doing the $90 ride along?
So yeah, we talked about this. We talked about getting, like, renting a Tesla for a day.
What do you think? Are you going to actually do that?
I don't think so. We probably won't. I mean, maybe at some point, but I don't think so.
No.
It's just Teslas are cool. I'll just wait till I can buy my own.
Yeah, but you're on a rocket ship right now.
Right. Well, we're actually on a SpaceX rocket ship.
Oh, okay.
Elon.
So Elon made this rocket ship, huh?
Elon.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. He's another one who's very in touch with the memes.
Oh, yeah. That's probably why other than, like, Tesla, PayPal,
Well, yeah, it's
SpaceX.
he's a genius with a personality.
Yeah.
And that's, like, the key to success.
Yeah.
Is knowing, like, being able to talk to someone about your good idea.
Your good idea. Because some people are, like, just crazy with good ideas and they can't talk to people.
Yep.
So that's why
Elon
we never
has
hear
it.
of them.
Yep.
Because they have no personality.
Or they're just nuts. And they're crazy.
Or, yeah, maybe
and they're
they're
great.
just in an insane asylum.
Oh, well, I meant just, like, they're just that good.
Oh.
Well, that too, I guess.
Are insane asylums still around?
I don't think, in America, I don't think so.
No.
I'm
not like in the traditional sense.
Yeah, not in the traditional sense. I'm sure there are mental health areas.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff, but not like immoral, disgusting, insane asylums.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think.
Maybe.
I think there are abandoned ones.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Probably haunted.
We should go not hunt.
Ghost hunting?
We should go ghost hunting.
That would be fun.
You want to go ghost hunting?
Yeah.
You want to go to an abandoned wear shop and try to find like the ghost of Shiver Me Timbers?
Yeah. Old Davy Jones.
Old Davy Jones' locker?
Yeah, I think I've mentioned this before. I'm not necessarily a subscriber of the ghost faith.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe in ghosts. But the moment that we are in a warehouse and crazy terrestrial, is it terrestrial? Extraterrestrial? No.
Aliens?
No. What is the paranormal? Excuse me. Paranormal events start happening.
We might see aliens up here.
You're right.
We haven't yet.
I've got my head in the clouds. Actually, beyond the clouds.
Beyond the clouds. You're in the stars right now.
I'm in the stars, baby. I've got my head in the stars. That's out of this world. That's Elon.
That's Panic at the Disco.
Yep. Head in the clouds.
Head in the clouds.
Brendan's got it made, dude.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Why not?
He doesn't have a personality.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
I'm not saying he's Elon Musk.
Have you ever laughed at a Brendan Urie joke?
Yes. He's
what
funny.
Was the joke?
Oh, I don't know. He probably just said like, "Oh, fuck that dude," and then I laughed because it's just so
he's
damn
a
charming.
White bro.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
He is now. Well, what I'm saying is like, yeah, he's got the great voice.
Yeah.
But he's moving. He's living.
Moving units.
He's moving units, baby.
He's making that money.
Making that money, and he's inside his house for the year, essentially. He's just chilling in his house.
It seems like a very lonely life.
He just gets to stream Fortnite on Twitch.
Yeah. I mean, when he has
and hang.
The hits that he has, I guess he can just do that.
Yeah. Like, he just has that option to just do, like, whatever he wants. Pretty cool.
Pretty awesome.
This is also the same guy who just released a single with Taylor Swift.
That's true.
So it's a...
Yeah, he's going to make bank off.
Yeah, he's working, and then he goes and plays Twitch.
Yeah, he probably works like 10% of the time.
Yeah.
Other 90% he's playing Twitch.
Yeah.
So.
But it's been like a decade in the making.
Oh, yeah, he's able to do it. I haven't made a song with Taylor Swift, so I can't be saying shit.
I love you, Brendan, even from space.
Have you sent him a postcard yet?
No, because they don't make them here. I'll send him Stardust.
Maybe we'll like interstellar this and like go into like an alternate dimension.
Oh, and we catch him back in the day so I can go see a Pretty Odd concert.
That's what you do with time travel?
Yeah.
You go see a Pretty Odd concert.
Honestly, wouldn't you do the same? You'd go back in time and see like Gambino when he was at UF?
No.
No?
During his camp tour? No way.
I don't know, man.
Maybe like because of the internet, but
just go be a roadie for
Led
Zeppelin?
No. So you you would. So honestly, if you had time travel, what would you do with it? Like honestly.
Well, I think inevitably I'd die.
Before that,
Well,
why did your mind go there?
well, I just
if I had time travel, I would die at some point.
I didn't mean it like that. I was thinking more like if I did anything, it would like result in my death. Like that's like part of my fear with time travel. Like, dude, I don't think I'd mess with that.
So you wouldn't do anything with it.
Ideally, no. Like if I was actually presented with it, I don't think I'd go down that hole.
Really?
Yeah. Like it's a little too scary. I think it's a little beyond me. Thanks.
But if you're immature, what would you do?
Where would I go with it?
Yeah.
Like in what context? Like in like would I go back to like see myself being born?
Just anything.
I would murder the man who killed my uncle. What if I went like that? Like, I'd seek vengeance upon those who did wrong to my family.
Okay. So
I would avenge them.
You would avenge your family.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
No, I don't know. Like, I don't think I'd want to do anything, to be honest. Like, that's my honest answer.
So if you invented time travel...
If I could, I would try to do as little as possible.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little uninteresting, but it would be cool to just, like, go see a dinosaur for a day and then, like, not touch it. Because maybe it gets a disease.
If you go see a movie, that's not going to result in, like, a time-space, like...
That's true.
Like,
well, yeah, I guess, like
space.
if I can follow, like, Back to the Future rules where it's like, yo, just stay away from people, just kind of chill. Yeah, I would do that.
Like, don't do anything crazy, but, like, what would you do that wouldn't cause a fucking tear in space-time continuum? Like, very innocent.
Very innocent?
Like, not murdering Hitler or anything like that.
Well, I think, like, going to see a concert would be very cool. Like, just going and being one of, like, a few thousand at a concert, that's pretty safe.
Would you murder...
I say this now.
Would you murder Brendan Urie?
No.
And, like, take over his legacy?
Ooh. Yeah, I just become the murderer. Oh, maybe that's what happened with John Lennon. The dude got time travel, and he's like, I can become John Lennon. And then he didn't think about the fact that he would be killing John Lennon and would just be known as the murderer of John Lennon. I make the exact same mistake.
Oh, my God.
I've been like, I mean, you know, like those like weird Instagram pages where it's like weird things, like just weird phenomenons in life. There are like different ones that say like, dude, time travel is real. Look at this picture. You know, and it's like, whoa, why does she have a cell phone in her hand? Back in the the early 1900s.
You subscribe to those theories now?
No, I don't think so. But it's fun to think about.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I hope that there's something to that.
I mean, we're barreling through space, so anything's possible.
That's true. Stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have happened.
I wish I had something to talk about with that. I didn't. I don't have anything to say about that.
That would be a great segue.
Yeah, that would be a great segue.
Something. Yeah, if I had time travel,
where would you go?
Where would I go?
What would you do? I'd go to yesterday.
What would I do?
It's hard. It's a hard question.
It would be hard.
And there's like the logical side where like you don't want to really make a big impact on anything from the past. Because I wouldn't want to change anything. Like our discussion yesterday about like people making wrong like a mistake, but it's important that they made the mistake so that we know about it now.
Yeah.
Like it's important for that stuff. Like I couldn't go back and change some terrible human mistake.
I'd probably go see like a Dirty B movie.
Yeah.
Because it's something I can't get now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't really see like Multiple Maniacs or The Holy Mountain in a movie theater now.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go see like something that I couldn't see now in the theater.
Yeah.
Like not even like not the Psycho premiere. That's something that like a lot of film fans say where it's like the Psycho premiere is like the thing that they travel back in time, which is cool. Like it's not the experience that you get now.
Yeah.
But
I think
I'd go to like a dirty theater, like a rundown dirty movie theater.
The Star Wars premiere would probably be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
I think it would be
Well,
cool.
you wouldn't have much of a premiere, I don't think.
Well, it was though. It was like big.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like big lines, right? Or was that was that prequel stuff?
I thought the story was. I might be wrong. I thought the story was that the original Star Wars is like some unknown like hit over time.
Was it? I thought it was more
In
like
the
anticipated.
theaters. In the theater.
Yeah, I thought it. For some reason, I'm thinking like when I picture like Star Wars
It might
premieres,
be.
maybe it was like the sequels or something. But they were like Star Wars premieres. I think before prequel stuff. That was huge.
Oh yeah, no. Empire and Return were like huge.
Okay, so then maybe the first one wasn't as much.
No, I think the first one was huge over time.
Yeah.
I don't know about the premiere.
Well, then maybe not A New Hope, but I'd go
The
see.
Empire Strikes Back would be a good one
Yeah.
because you get to see everyone's reaction to it.
That's true. Yeah, that would be a cool one.
Like the Luke I am your father. You get to see all the reaction to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if I spoiled it?
Jesus. No, you call it a time. That would be a time ripple
Yeah.
if you spoiled. Empire
Because
Strikes
it's
Back.
like it talks about like the riot of Star Wars, like when they just ripped a kid apart. They're so pissed at him that like just blood squirted on the Chinese theater screen or something.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'd probably go see like a dirty movie,
The first Troll.
the first Troll, or go see like I don't know, Critters in theater,
Yeah.
or go see
Like a cool old movie.
Multiple Maniacs would be a good one. Pink Flamingos, any of the John Waters movies would be really cool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Pink Flamingos. I need to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like any of the old B movies, Holy Mountain would be a one that I would kill to see in the movie theater. Or El Topo in movie theater. Oh my god! Just because like you can't see those in theaters now. I don't know when they ever play in theaters. So, and also like they play in like the rundown B movie theaters at late at night. Like I'd kill to go see that.
Where'd you go in the future?
In the future,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I'd go anywhere.
No. But if you were immature and you chose to go to the future.
Listen to the Last Gambino. That's all I do.
That's like next month.
Next month, like go like a few months ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't know what the future holds.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'd go see.
Yep.
So yeah, I wouldn't do anything crazy though.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I guess like the past has like the whole butterfly effect thing where it's like nothing would really be the same.
Yeah.
But I feel like the past kind of has that thing where it's like if you don't touch anything, maybe nothing happens.
Yeah.
The future has a thing where it's like literally if you know something, the
Like-
whole path to get there changes.
Well, yeah. Like I think we don't know time travel.
I guess not necessarily. Like
But if you just go see a movie, like what are you gonna? You're not gonna tear time and space by doing that.
yeah. Yeah, that's
Especially
true.
if the movie's already been out for a little bit. Like you're not going to tear time and space.
Yeah.
It'd be different if you saw a movie earlier and then spoiled it
Yeah.
for people. Kind of like the Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's my theory.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, going into the future is scarier for sure.
Yeah, and also I don't know what exciting things would be in the future.
It's kind of morbid.
Yeah. Like I don't know what there is exciting about the future.
You go like a year ahead and you're like, where am I? Oh shit.
I don't
Just
you'd tear time and space if you did that.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't work now because
Yeah.
now you know where you're going. At least if you go see like a concert or a movie, like it's just fulfilling some kind of fantasy that you had.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's my theory about time and space.
Yeah.
Whether or not
I
it's
don't
true,
know.
I don't know. But
I love like the way they explain time travel in every single movie, where they just like fold a piece of paper and like stick a pencil through it or
So-
something. Like they always do that.
Interstellar?
Interstellar, Stranger Things did it too. Like I just feel like
Is that it?
I feel like there's more movies where they say like here it's like you got to bend time.
It's
and
as simple as just
I feel like
bending it.
did they say that like that's kind of like what they do in Avengers, right? Like they
A little
find
bit.
like an interception and then they go through that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They get small. They get small in that movie. Oh well. But that's time travel. That's the episode.
That's the episode of time travel.
We'll see you next time.
Time
On
in the
episode.
Future. What does the future hold? Probably not much.
Yep. This has been episode 32 of the Wolfpack podcast, and you could go back in time to watch it again if you want from this point.
Or you can watch all of our previous episodes.
Yeah.
Watch our last episode that got 14 views.
Go check it out, please.
Please. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for
on
watching.
The Wolfpack podcast. We're going to be barreling through space.
Yes,
But we're
making
loving
adjustments to space and where we're sitting in space.
We might be sitting somewhere else.
And the way things look
in
on
space.
this couch in space. Stay tuned.